All that glitters just might drive you crazy, and that's my main takeaway from Kevin Kwan's Crazy Rich Asians and China Rich Girlfriends. To say the least, Pride and Prejudice's William Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet have literally nothing on the relationship troubles of Nicholas Young and Rachel Chu, who are the main characters of Crazy Rich Asians and China Rich Girlfriend. Kevin Kwan's novels chronicling the foreign world of Asian billionaire society is as shocking, opulent, and scandalous as the time Kim Kardashian spent $2 million on a wedding for a marriage that lasted 72 days. These two novels follow the story of the young couple, Nicholas and Rachel, as they navigate their way through this insane entanglement of society heiresses, scheming mothers, and good food. I'll get to that later. In Crazy Rich Asians, we're introduced to Nicholas and Rachel as they prepare to go to Singapore, where Nick plans to introduce Rachel to his family. They're going there for his best friend's wedding. Rachel goes with him on the trip, thinking that, they're like a middle class, a normal, regular Chinese or Singaporean family. She's wrong. What Nick hasn't told Rachel is that he comes from a family of, you guessed it, crazy rich Asians. And I'm not just talking about millionaire rich, I'm talking about billionaire power players who are vastly influential in the Singaporean society and government. Mrs. Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, if you read that, has nothing on the scheming of Eleanor Young, who is Nick's mom. What I really liked about this novel, about these two novels, is how well this world that especially me as a North American Asian, that I've never actually been acquainted with. I mean, yeah, you hear about it in the news, about how much money people spend on things, but like you never actually have an idea. And Kwan, he does a really great job of building up this world that is so intriguing and so ridiculously luxurious that like it kind of makes Crazy Rich Asians and China Rich Girlfriend an escapist type read. This culture of supreme wealth that he crafts through his descriptions and through his introduction of every single character is amazing. And it's like something, and the lives of the rich and famous in Singapore and elsewhere, let's be honest, are something I don't think I would ever want to be entangled with. What I also liked is that his novel is made up of layers with the characters' different plot lines. So while Rachel and Nick are the main characters, you also get glimpses into the lives of people like Astrid Young, his cousin, Eddie Chang, another cousin, and you get to see how their lives intertwine. Basically, Crazy Rich Asians and China Rich Girlfriend read like a modern-day steroid-fueled love children of Jane Austen and P.G. Wodehouse novels. And if those love children were raised in Singapore. While Crazy Rich Asians is a really fun, escapist, wickedly hilarious, is a fun, wickedly hilarious escapist read, it also provides a really good satirical look at this culture of wealth. And it's a culture of wealth that could really be found not just in Singapore, but definitely in the US, in Europe, in South America, everywhere. And part of it makes you, and like the irony of the satire is that it makes you want to, when you read Crazy Rich Asians, you abhor how people treat other people there, how these rich people treat people who are of less economic status than them, how they treat each other, how they treat their family. And yet at the same time, even though you shake your head and you point your finger at them, you also really envy them because damn, they are so freaking rich. Like, I think it's just because I love food, but one of the highlights for me of reading the book was all the descriptions of this extravagant, luxurious food that they ate. Oh my gosh, like, I want to go to Singapore now and, like, eat all the food. 'Cause just reading it made me hungry. But, yeah. So while you can shake your head at these crazy rich Asians, you also kind of secretly want to be like them, because they can afford to spend like $3,000 on an Hermes bag, or like fly to Paris on their own private jet. It's just ridiculous how rich they are. Overall, I would say that Kevin Kwan's Crazy Rich Asians series, I would rate it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a ridiculously fun read. Sometimes it reads like a soap opera, other times it's just so funny because of how ridiculous all these rich people act. It makes me want to go to Singapore, though. If you don't have the money to fly your own private jet all the way to Singapore, rest assured, pick up Kevin Kwan's Crazy Rich Asians and you'll be able to be there within a second.